Hey guys, it's Dami here from Clientele Boosters, and today I'm going to talk about what it is like to get to your first 10K month online. So first of all, if you like this kind of content, like the video, comment, and share it with your friends. Let's jump into it. I'm going to be real. Your first $10,000 a month in a service-based industry will probably be one of the most mentally difficult things you'll have to do, and I'll tell you why. What a service-based business basically is this. You charge someone a fee, you then deliver it for a fraction of the amount that you're charging them for at a cheaper cost. So if you're charging them $1,000 a month to deliver X service, you're then paying someone $500 on the back end, and the arbitrage is the profit, that $500 in between, where you're collecting the profit because you've paid someone and you've charged them a higher amount. Okay, that's the essence of a service-based business. Now, for many of you that don't have an entrepreneurial background, there's a lot of limiting beliefs that you may have when it comes to running a service-based business online, especially to get your first 10K month. The first thing you'll have to usually figure out is, okay, what is the avatar, or who is the avatar that you're selling to? You know, so for me, it was blended, but my first few real clients were restaurants when I was 19, 20 years old. It was an NDIS business, but it was mainly restaurants as well. And for me, I knew I could charge at the time $200 a month to do the social media, and I would manually do the posts. I wasn't paying anyone to do that. I would sometimes pay my brother, I think at the time like $20-25 an hour, and I'd take him to a cafe and we'd sit down and we'd do the designs and the captions together, Canva, all that good stuff. And then as I became more skilled and more poised, and once I got to about 5 to 10 clients delivering the service by myself, I was like, okay, this person wants a website, I'm gonna charge $2,000, $2,500. And I still remember till this day, guys, I have a video somewhere in my old phone where someone paid me like the first $1,000 or $2,000 for a website. Me and my brother felt so rich. And I remember he probably laughed at me saying this. He probably won't want me to tell you guys this, but there's a video of him like counting the money and like doing like putting the air, like doing this with the money to himself, and it was just funny. But it's because, you know, like there was a lot of beliefs that we had around money. Now, I didn't grow up poor by any means. My parents, they have great careers in their fields, but my parents aren't entrepreneurial. They're very safe when it comes to the business risk. You know, I only got my dad recently into getting stocks, you know, so they're quite safe. So when I was like telling my parents, oh, I have a friend who's making $15K a month selling apps, you know, he was an app developer. Now this guy's a multi-millionaire, well over $10-20 million. And he's like under 25, ridiculous. And I was like, oh, and then one of my other friends ended up on television, and my mom was like, how do you know these guys didn't come from money? How did you know that these guys weren't scamming people? And I'm downloading this information as a late teen, early 20-year-old, when I should have rather, and no diss to my parents, it's just what it was, hearing information such as, wow, if he can do it, you can totally do it, Dami, you're just as smart, if not smarter than him. So you're gonna have a lot of people environmentally telling you that aiming for this amount of money online in a non-traditional per se sense is uncommon, not normal, not real, scammy, and that's going to take time to de-learn. Now, some of you are not going to have as strong limiting beliefs. You might have parents that are entrepreneurial, you might have parents that are really open-minded, and it might allow you to make your first 10K a month in 90 days, in 60 days, in 30 days. Again, service business, because e-commerce is different. E-commerce, you can make high revenue fast, but the profit margins are also really slim sometimes. Now, there's ways to navigate that, but if you see someone doing 100K a month in e-com, don't be surprised if their expenses are 80K a month because they're spending so much on Facebook ads to maintain that. Whereas with services, it's different. If you're getting to even 20K a month, the profit can be like $15,000, right? Not if you're me. I spend so much of my money, but that's because I like building my personal brand, and I'm using my agency to fund other businesses, which is a different thing. So that's one thing, limiting beliefs. Another thing that you're gonna have to navigate is the amount of raw energy it will take for you to just get that first 10K a month. I forgot who said it, but there was someone on YouTube who's in the agency space as well. He's like, do whatever it takes to get to 10K a month. And I understand why. It's not because 10K a month is gonna free you financially. It really doesn't. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I don't even think, this is my personal opinion, I don't even think you should quit your full-time job until again, if you're in the service-based business, until your service-based business can pay you double. Income-wise, not even revenue, double the income that you're getting from your corporate job, right? So for example, if you have a corporate job and you're making $50K a year, and your agency is making you $10,000, and of that $10,000 per month in revenue, you're making $5,000 profit, I'd still work the corporate job while running the agency. And then I'll get the agency to like $10,000 profit, or maybe doing 20 or 25K a month revenue, and then quit, but maybe still have like 3-6 months savings. The reason for that is because, and I'm telling you this, guy, by the way, guys, as someone who has quit corporate multiple times, come back, quit, come back, because I got a taste of success and I thought I could sustain it. The odds are is you probably can sustain it, but you don't have enough data yet to have like a really good cash flow projection. So for example, I know if I make X amount of money in a month, well, I can look at trends over the last 4 years and be like, okay, April to June is typically when Dami makes the least amount of money, but then in Q4/Q3, that's usually when I make the most amount of money, because I've got 3 to 4 years of stats on myself, giving me indicators of, okay, if you are going to quit, quit at this time. If you are not going to quit, don't quit at this time. This time of the year is when you usually roll out a new offer. So you probably build that new offer in the down season, which in my situation is usually Q2 of the year. So then you can really swing that bat and double revenue in Q3 and Q4. So we talked about limiting beliefs. We talked about also not just quitting cold turkey and making sure that you do whatever it takes to get to that 10K a month. The third thing is you're gonna probably have to go through a certain level of isolation. So the behaviors and traits it will take to get to 10K a month are the behaviors and traits that you don't have at the moment, because you don't have 10K a month yet with your service business. Now, I initially was able to get to my first $4,000 or $5,000 per month online back at like 20 years old, just by selling off charisma. I was not that good of a marketer. I barely knew what Facebook ads were, but I understood that people needed social media marketing, and I could sell it by just talking to enough people. What you will realize is that for you to get to the next level of skill, there's a certain level of mastery, understanding psychology and influence, sales, communication, pricing, and a lot of that's going to take a lot of testing, a lot of energy, and you won't be able, in my opinion, to be living the way you were living prior, whether it's you going out every weekend with your friends, whether it's you spending X amount of hours with your wife or your girlfriend or your partner every day. You're going to have to dedicate a lot of those hours into mastering your craft, because when you lose a customer or a client, you're going to be able to reflect, digest, and then spit out new inputs to generate new outputs. And you can only have the time to reflect and to digest and to revisit when you are not doing what you were doing before, because you need that extra hours and extra time. So those are 3 things that it's going to take to get to your first 10K a month. Now, I'm not going to put a time on it, because for some of you that could take 60 to 90 days or less. Some of you might take 2 to 3 years. But it will take a certain degree of isolation to rid of those old behaviors that were keeping you at $0 online per month, and to adopt those new behaviors, traits, and then inputs that then predictably get you to that first 5, 10, 20K months, etc. And it only gets harder, but you get stronger. So those are a few quick tips that I've learned. And yeah, it helped me get to my first 10K a month. By 22 years old, I was making 100K a year. I'm now 24, 25 at the end of the year. By the next calendar year, if God wills, that probably will cross over my first $1 to $2 million in revenue. But that's not because I'm any smarter than you. It's because I just put in the reps. And I'm telling you what I've done to, get to my first 20K in a month last year. Okay? Much love. Share this with a friend. Like it. Comment. Have a good one. God bless.